Now that you're defending world champion and it's settled in, being the world champion, tell us, how does it feel to be own such a prestigious piece of history, especially being the first American heavyweight champion of all time?
Man, it's just, when you say that, it just made me reminisce on back when I first won the title. You know, it was a historic moment. You know, you know, one of my favorite fighters of all time, birthday Muhammad Ali. You had Martin Luther King. You had one of the greatest trainers of all time. One of the greatest trainers of all time, Emmanuel Stewart, said that if anybody could bring back a heavyweight title or beat a Klitschko, it'd be Deontay Wilder. And I brought the title back to America. Now, you know, that's just part of the puzzle. Now I got to do the rest to finish the other. And then I promised my daughter when she was 1 year old that that'd be a world champion. So it was so many things going on at that moment when I won that title, man. It was a great feeling for me.
Didn't your grandmother say something about being anointed?
Yeah, my grandma always told my parents that I was anointed by God. She would never let them whoop me. She would, not in front of her eyes, you know. You want to see an old woman get at somebody? Try to whoop me. You know, she said he's going to be somebody one day.
Is your daughter a fan of boxing? Does she watch your fights in front of the TV?
She definitely watches my fights when I have fights. I wouldn't say she's the biggest fan. All she knows is Daddy. Daddy's finna fight, you know, and she always wishes me well. And you know, when I won the belt, one of the things that touched my heart is that most times you go to your children, and if they do something good, you tell them that you're proud of them. But on the other hand, she reversed it on me and she said, "Dad, I'm proud of you." And that almost brought me to tears because, you know, if you want to see me cry, I cry at good movies when they're dealing with kids and stuff like that. But when she said that, that definitely warmed my heart. And man, I was like, wow, you know, it makes me go hard. Like, how can you beat a man that got so much on the line when you got these kids looking at you, when you got another man that's on the other end that's trying to take the food off the table for the kids or provide for their future or school or whatever they want to do. It's going to be hard to beat me. I don't care who it is. It's going to be hard to beat me. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, how much does it bother you that you're still not considered by a lot of people either a legitimate heavyweight? There's people talking about Anthony Joshua, about Parker from New Zealand, of course the Klitschkos, and you're a guy who's beat Romain Sterrett. Does it still bother you that you're not getting your due compared to the European guys?
It didn't bother me then. Before I came champion, it don't bother me now while I'm champion. Like I said, this is a big world. People got opinions. They're going to express their opinions whether they believe in it or not. Some people just want a voice so people can hear them, you know. But, you know, you got a guy like Floyd Mayweather that's undefeated and you know, and did a lot of great things in his career, and they still consider him, you know, not one of the greats. So, I mean, what do you think they're gonna say to me that's the champion, and still I'm in the reign of trying to do a lot of great things in my career. No matter what I do, like I said before, I can fight King Kong, beat him, and then fight Godzilla. There's still somebody gonna say, you know, that wasn't then, or somebody was too old or whatever. So, you know, I'm just doing what I'm meant to do. I feel like God blessed me with the ability and talent to do it, man. And I'm just going on with that, you know.
Well, if Vlad King Kong and Anthony Joshua's Godzilla, how important is legacy to you in taking out those other monsters?
Legacy is big for me. You know, legacy is bigger than money for me. I feel like I'm fighting for my legacy because the money, that's automatic. So, you know, when it's over for me, which I feel like I only have 10 years in this sport, when it's over for me, I definitely want to be one of those guys that people say, man, he feared no one. He fought the best of the best. He went behind enemy lines. He brought excitement. He brought the heavyweight division back. You know, I'm trying to make it better than what it was back in the day. You know, back in the day, you know, it was less amount of sports than what it is now. But I want to bring that spark back to the heavyweight division, and we'd have brought, along with myself and a lot of other heavyweights, we'd have definitely spunked it out. We'd have revised it. But it's definitely, far as in my eyes, there's more to do. And I feel once we have one champion, once and for all, it's gonna be great.
Now that your knockout ratio is no longer 100%, do you find yourself boxing more and not really looking for it as much? Or do you still go out there with the intent to knock somebody out in every single fight?
Well, I'm always had that hunger to go in there and knock somebody's head off. That's for sure. You know, but I like to display it. You know, I find myself wanting to. I like going the rounds. I like going the rounds as well too, giving people a couple of rounds, giving them at least a little bit part of their money's worth, and then going to knock them out. But I always want to knock somebody out. You know, I just got a thing with putting my faith in judges' hands. You know, many fights we done seen where we knew who won, but when the decision came, it was like a mouth-dropping decision. Like, did they see what was they looking at, you know?
Do you feel like that's a double-edged sword when a guy like Chris Arreola takes on Molina earlier than you took him out, but you're giving the fans a longer fight with, you know, possibly more excitement? Do you think that you kind of have an obligation to knock those same common opponents out earlier?
I don't feel like I'm obligated to just because somebody fought somebody earlier and they did what they did to him, and I got in there and did it at a later round to them. I don't feel obligated at all to try to beat what somebody done. You know, at the end of the day, a win is a win, and that's what people are gonna remember, a win. You know. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in, oh, because he did that, I gotta go and beat him. I just don't believe in it. I'm gonna do what we're planning to do, what we're trained to do, and that's that, you know, and go from there. As long as I still had a belt, as long as I still got that win, that's all that matters at the end of the day, because nobody remember losers, but they always remember winning.
Your next opponent going to be an opponent that you're going to use for preparation for Povetkin?
To be honest, all my opponents is preparation, really for the big dance, for Wladimir Klitschko.
And as far as Povetkin, is there a timetable? I know you have a fight coming up in September, correct?
Correct. September 26th. So
is there a timetable for Povetkin, maybe in the spring or summer of 2016?
Definitely. Like I said, he's my mandatory. I can't go around. I can't. It's nothing I can do. I must fight him. So that fight will happen, and I'm looking forward to my very first mandatory fight. I'm looking forward to that fight very much so. Looking forward to beating him, keeping my title, and moving on. Like I said, my ultimate goal is fighting for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. You know, a lot of people are dependent on it. A lot of people count on America, just count on me to do that. And I promise, I gave my word that I'm going to do that. And if I give my word, then it's done.
Deontay, these every one of these fighters that you talk about, these historic heavyweight champions, have always had the passing of the torch opportunity. It's one great story that was handed down to another great story. Again, there's been a lot, even in other countries, you can say the Klitschkos have a great legacy, but people have lost interest in the heavyweight division. If you are given the opportunity to unify the titles against him, and you were to beat him, do you feel that it is going to be beating a branch of history like, again, say for instance, when a Rocky Marciano beat a Joe Louis or so forth? I
very much so feel that would be what you just expressed. It would be. You know, you're looking at Wladimir. You know, both of the brothers, they've been ruling the division for like a decade or so. So when you have the belts for so long, it's like somebody come along and beat it. It's like almost the biggest thing that happened. That's why I'm so anxious to get in there. To do what I got to do. That's what people hollering out right now. They ain't hollering about these other guys. They ain't talking about no Areolas, no Tresoras, no Shannons, none of that. Klitschko-Wilder. That's what people want to see. You know, they want to see two giants, two champions, get in there, unify the division once and for all. And you know, that's going to be a historical moment. I can't wait to see that.
Where would you like to see this fight take place?
Where
would you like to see the fight take place?
I wouldn't mind having it here in New York.
There you go.
I wouldn't mind having that right here in New York. So maybe the Madison Square Garden. I always want to put my name on history. Maybe at the Barclays Center as well too. I'm looking forward to having my debut at the Barclays Center as well too. So but whether it's Madison Square Garden or the Barclays Center, definitely here in New York.